Metzger's Dog by Thomas Perry. Narrated by Michael Kramer. Copyright 1983 by Thomas Perry. Introduction copyright 2003 by Carl Hiaasen. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Random House, an imprint of the Random House Publishing Group, a division of Random House Incorporated, and was produced in the year 2009 by Tantor Media Incorporated, which holds the copyright thereto. Introduction by Carl Hiaasen. In one of my favorite scenes in Metzger's Dog, a group of senior spooks from the Central Intelligence Agency is sitting around talking about a top-secret project known as the Exploding President. The idea, conceived by a flaky agent named Molnar, and ultimately rejected by his superiors, was to create a replica dummy of the President of the United States and then fill it with 200 pounds of high explosives. "What the hell for?" asks one of the CIA guys. "To assassinate assassins, at parades and ceremonies." "But that would kill everybody around it for 100 yards. "Right. Well done, hamburger. If we'd gone for that one, we might have gotten the nuclear president. I guess it's our loss. Glad to see you found something else for Molnar to do." At which point the director of the CIA looks up earnestly and says, "It's not fair to mark a man for life just for one bad idea." That subtle dose of absurdity is worthy of Graham Greene, who I suspect would approve enthusiastically of Thomas Perry. So many mystery writers know how to spin a crackling good yarn, as reviewers are fond of saying, but precious few make us laugh out loud. Elmore Leonard can do it in his sleep. So can Donald Westlake and Lawrence Block. Perry has been blessed with the same gift. Other novelists would kill for lines he tosses away like cigarette butts. Marble-eyed beggars with noses like snorkels is how he describes a mob of hardcore dopers queuing up for a clinical experiment that doles out free cocaine. The imagery might not be politically correct, but it is wickedly funny. Another trait that puts Perry in an elite league of writers is the seditious zest with which he breaks the rules of his genre. Metzger's Dog is notable for its wildly pinballing plot and also for a refreshing scarcity of traditional good guys and bad guys, which frees readers to root guiltlessly for whoever is most entertaining. In a nutshell, the premise of the story is that a trio of marginally talented crooks sets out to steal a stash of drugs and ends up trying to blackmail the Central Intelligence Agency for $10 million. The chain of events is utterly outlandish, a fact wryly and ruefully acknowledged by every major player on both sides of the scam. Consequently, the reader is not only forgiving, but hooked. The gang's nominal ringleader, Chinese Gordon, is a prize. He drives around Los Angeles with a loaded M39 aircraft cannon mounted in the back of his van, while merrily improvising bawdy verses to Bringing in the Sheaves. Yet when he's not scouting for something to rob or blow up, Gordon can be an old-fashioned romantic, struck rapt and goo-goo-eyed by a simple glimpse of his girlfriend reading the newspaper. Chinese Gordon watched Margaret arch her back and then rock her hips slightly to get comfortable on the bed. She was definitely losing her suntan, the peculiar demarcation that seemed to intensify certain parts of her with a white light, as if they glowed with an energy of their own, or as though some principle of evolution had caused them to be marked as areas of special interest, in the absurdly literal way that nature did things. That's quite a lovely reflection for a common felon, but more important, it's lovely writing. Metzger's Dog is rich with it, between the gunplay and the laughs. Gorgeous and sensible Margaret informs Chinese Gordon that, "Someday I hope to marry you, if I can ever find one shred of evidence that you're not criminally insane." "Feel free," he says, "to plumb the depths." How can you not adore this couple? In Perry's world, you'll find no faces from central casting, and you'll hear no dialogue that rings flat or familiar. Almost every character plays against type, and the result is an exquisitely interesting ensemble. There isn't a bore or a stiff to be found. While some of the CIA big shots come off as arrogant boobs, none of their roundtable conversations, including the reminiscence about the exploding president, seems particularly implausible. This was the same outfit, after all, that in real life plotted to kill Fidel Castro with poisoned cigars. Seriously. So it hardly seems surprising when Perry's fictional